I don't think nobody is better than KD. Those were the words of the Hall of Famer, Tracy McGrady. He recognized an important aspect that not only makes him the greatest one-on-one scorer today, but the greatest scorer of all time. And I have the numbers to prove it. Before we get to that, there's an important question that we need to ask ourselves. What should be the criteria to determine the greatest scorer? Would it be the ability to score from anywhere on the court? Would it be the ability to consistently convert on difficult shots? Would you simply consider who scored the most points out of anyone? Or would it be which volume shooter scored at the most efficient rate? I don't blame anyone for picking players like Kareem and Wilt as their greatest scorers ever. The only knock that one would have on them is that they never scored from beyond the free throw line. If we're talking about the most versatile and efficient scorer ever, Kevin Durant has a strong case for taking that prestigious title. Let's first start with the eye test. We're talking about a player who combines the size of the NBA's greatest big men with the all-around game of its best guards. He can do everything at an all-time great level. He can create his own shot off the dribble and in the post, finish in traffic, run pick and rolls, and score off the catch and shoot. He is the most perfect scoring machine. But don't take it from me. Let's now reveal exactly what Tracy McGrady said to OBL Hoops. Quote, I don't think nobody is better than KD. His shooting ability, 7-foot KD, reminds me of myself, being able to get to your spots in 3-4 dribbles. KD needs about 3 to 4 dribbles, and he is in his spot. He gets where he wants to go in less dribbles, and he is efficient. End of quote. That we can't argue with. No one is more efficient at scoring the ball than Durant is. The things he can do at his size make it tough for any defender to stop him on a consistent basis. As a defender, all you can do is hope that he misses. You are simply at his mercy. For example, there have been 10 seasons where he's had a true shooting percentage of 62% while also scoring over 25 points per game. That is the most by any wing player in NBA history. The numbers indicate that he's the most efficient volume scorer ever. What makes those numbers even more impressive is that a lot of the shots he takes are not easy, but he makes a large assortment of shots under high duress. Let's use his performance against the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2021 playoffs as an example. For this series, PJ Tucker was his main defender. He tried to use his strength and physical defense to stop Durant. Now, to his credit, there were 2 games where he was held to under 40% shooting from the field. But for the most part, KD was unstoppable. There were moments in that series where Tucker was playing perfect defense, giving him 0 inches of space, and he would still find a way to make a ridiculously tough shot. If his physicality wasn't going to work, then the Bucks thought they could put Giannis on Durant. Let's keep in mind that he has no size advantage over Giannis. He's actually an inch shorter than him, but it still didn't matter. Durant had no problems rising up and making a shot right in his face. He ended up averaging 35.4 points on nearly 50% shooting. After what I saw from that series, I'm convinced that there is no defender, past or present, that can stop him on the basketball court. But it's not just his crazy efficiency or mind-blowing numbers that make him such a legendary scorer. It's that he doesn't have to dominate the ball to rack up the points, just as T-Mac mentioned. Unlike players like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and James Harden, he doesn't need the ball in his hands constantly to dominate the scoreboard. In fact, he only finished in the top 5 in usage rate percentage 3 times in his career. In the 2018-19 season, he finished 20th and still averaged 26 points per game. It's one of the reasons why his teams have overwhelming success on offense when he's on the floor, no matter what situation he's in. We could take, for example, his 2012-13 season with the OKC Thunder. While everyone was praising the Miami Heat and their historic winning streak, the Thunder was quietly having one of the most dominant regular seasons of all time. The Thunder had a 9.15 simple rating system, which is the 15th highest in league history. And they also had a margin of victory of 9.21 points per game, which is the 21st highest for a single season. They led the league in both categories, and they also had the highest offensive rating in the NBA. And I almost forgot, they won 60 games that year. I'm sure a lot of their success had to do with him averaging a 50-40-90 shooting splits, and he nearly averaged 30 points per game. You can make any offense great while posting those numbers. Once he signed with the Warriors, he was able to implement himself perfectly into their already established system. In his first year there, the Warriors were able to tie with the 1987 Lakers with the highest offensive rating for a single season. 2 years later, they were able to break their own record and post the highest offensive rating ever. He then goes to the Brooklyn Nets, and the organization thought it was a good idea to add 2 ball-dominant players to the roster. But the thing is, the Nets knew that Kevin Durant wouldn't have any trouble implementing himself with this lineup. It doesn't matter what situation he's in. He's going to be able to play his game at a high level, no matter what. And the end result was that the Brooklyn Nets were able to post the highest offensive rating in the history of the league in the 2020-21 season. So let me get this straight. He played alongside Russell Westbrook, the player that everyone says is hard to play with. He has to have the ball at all times to be effective. Under those circumstances, the OKC Thunder had the #1 offense in the league. Then he goes to the Golden State Warriors, where the system isn't revolved around him. Under those circumstances, they produce a revolutionary and historically great offense. He then goes to another situation. He plays with players who are useless without the ball. And once again, they have the greatest offense in the history of the sport up to that point. As I mentioned, it doesn't matter what offense you put him in. He will get you buckets and raise your team's offense to a whole other level. That's what great scorers do, and he has done this time and time again. We can't deny how valuable he is on that end of the court for his team. I know Tracy McGrady was only talking about current players, but from a historical standpoint, I can see why Kevin Durant would have the title of the greatest one-on-one scorer ever. But even better than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant? Where do you think he lands historically? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.